All right, so if you watch this far, hopefully you're watching it on my blog. And welcome to my house, which is yet undecorated. You've probably seen this before. That's the light for the filming, and then that's the, what do you call that? The dining room. This is a beautiful home, and everything is new. And as I walk around it, I still walk on the carpet and kind of sink in. It's just amazing. I actually love it. What makes this outfit so interesting? And I've already done sort of the fit check, but I'll walk back again so see what I'm doing. And if you're above a certain age, you really recognize all this. You've seen the sort of khaki colored pants with the double-breasted blazer and button-up Oxford. That's the inspiration, but none of this fits. None of that is actually meant to be. None of that is the classic example of those individual pieces, and I wanted to do that to exemplify the fact that, as people say, once you sort of know the rules, it's easier for you to break them. Plus, I have a specific body type that I have to be careful as I present and buy clothing for. Some days you'll notice I look really kind of beefy and jacked, and some days I just look like your typical dad bod, whatever, American semi-chubby guy. You know, you're not too fat, you're not too thin, you've got a belly, but you've got decent arms and all that other stuff, and you have to be careful what you wear so that it's flattering to you, and especially with t-shirts, which is why until recently I had totally given up on t-shirts and hadn't worn those since I was in the military. And like I said in the intro video, with few exceptions, men's style is changing because it has to. We're entering issues of sustainability, cost, and access, affordable access to things that are still of quality. So you've got to learn enough about your body and how to dress it and clothe it for different events, arenas and whatnot, comfortably, in a way that of course is going to break your bank. And the reason men have run away from suits, it totally makes sense. It's not just cost and access, so that's been a big deal. You're not making as much money, so you don't have as much money to spend on a suit, and you're not in as many situations where you require formal dress, even when it's breaking the rules informal like this. You know, this is very sort of, hell, I think this went out in polite society probably in the 80s, you know, as far as what I'm wearing. You've got to be a member of some sort of club to even try this. The funny thing is that I said again, this isn't double-breasted, this is single-breasted, and it kind of works. You know, I can unbutton it. Especially when I unbutton it, you're not really thinking that it's, you're not missing the fact that it isn't double-breasted. But this is supposed to be a double-breasted suit jacket in this color. The shirt is supposed to be an Oxford shirt, and the pants, they look like your classic, like your chinos, preppy sort of. This looks like your classic preppy outfit. The only thing that is really classic preppy in this, or connected to classic preppy with any authenticity to it, is the fact that this is a chaps shirt. It's not a, you know, an Oxford shirt. It doesn't have the little button. Actually, it does have buttons on the collar, so it has Oxford-like features. It's the pocket. And I think chaps is interesting because that was Ralph Lauren trying to give you a hand, help you out. That Chaps is interesting as a failure, and I've gotten to a point where most of Ralph Lauren's failures are as interesting to me as his successes, because the last 3 or 4 Ralph Lauren brands, sub-brands over the last, say, 20, 25, 30 years were more entry-level. And as I look back on them, I am as much, if not more, of a fan of that stuff as I was when it originally came out. Chaps, everybody was always looking down on it because it had Ralph Lauren's name on it, but it was entry level, it was made in China, and it wasn't always made with the best material, which can, depending on your usage, affect the longevity of the garment. But durability and longevity are also directly connected to how often you are planning to wear it, you know? And that's, again, not something that you always hear about concerning men's clothing. And also, it's part of the reason why the traditional suit has gone by the wayside. You've got to sit there and then play ego games with where your suit was made and how much you paid for it. Just like men will play ego games. We used to play ego games with who had the nicest, most sophisticated stereo and who's got the fastest car. the nicest lawn, the sports team. I mean, everything ultimately becomes a competition, and the removal of the formal three-piece suit and tie from men's culture, not just fashion, but culture as making it a relic of men's style, removes yet another, what for a lot of people was just an unnecessary stress, and a uniform that for a long time was sad. I mean, I know people, again, there's a lot of content creators that lament the death of the suit, and I understand that. I think you recast the suit back into the realm of a status symbol and make it comfortable, but also have a variation that is accessible. And that's kind of what I have here, because again, I threw this together with crap I just had in my closet. I only just had the ideal of even doing a video like this yesterday. I knew I wanted to do a series of content videos talking about the current state of men's style. I just didn't know how I was going to present, because truth be told, as we stand here today in the middle of America hosting the World Cup in Dallas, Texas, where it is guaranteed to be triple digits, or for my European friends, plus 35, almost plus 40, 40 Celsius. It's incredibly hot, and you don't want to have to rethink what you're going to wear or think too hard about what you're going to wear every day. That's one of the whole reasons men just want to be simple, and I get that. I want to be simple. Guys, the secret is to do the hard work in planning beforehand based on your body type, budget, season, and how often you're going to wear that stuff as the season approaches, which is kind of like what the fashion designers do anyway. That's what they design a bunch of stuff and do a show or premiere it a good month or two before the actual season arrives. Farmers plant before the harvest. It's easy. You sort of do the hard work of what the outfits are going to be, and have 3 or 4 outfits for every season, kind of pre-planned and kind of set out and set aside, set apart beforehand, or at least foundational. What jackets am I going to wear for fall and winter? Because obviously heavier jackets are needed from between the two. What kind of shirts am I going to wear spring, summer? And then it becomes easy, because if you're really lazy, it's a conversation you have with yourself or your wife or girlfriend or whatever partner you have, twice a year. Just attach it to a holiday. Do one for Labor Day and one for Memorial Day. One for Thanksgiving, one for Mardi Gras, where you say, okay, this is what I have in my closet that's not working, that's going to continue to work or whatever. Get rid of the bad stuff. It doesn't fit anymore. I've gained weight. I've gotten fat. I've gotten more muscular, whatever. And there you go. It's not actually that difficult, especially for you guys that have women, because most women, not all, most women, even if they're not into fashion, have a way that they visually want to see their man. They have an eye for his height, his shape, his color. They know your body type. If it's a good relationship, they know your body almost as good as you do. If you're doing everything you should be doing as a guy, So, if I was still currently in a relationship, especially with a European woman, she might have some comments, things to say about, oh, well, you really should just go with the double-breasted because of how it's going to flatter you from the front. Again, with me, as I continue to go to the gym and change my shape or whatever, deal with my body type, the positives, and try to exemplify the negatives, I kind of shy away from double-breasted and always have. I don't know how that's going to continue, because I don't like the profile per se, but I get it. When you do the double-breasted thing, there's a slendering here that can be flattering because it can exemplify the V, and this kind of does that, which is why I started the first video out with the excessiveness of the shoulder pads. They're trying to create a specific silhouette and drape, and what you can generally do when the shoulder pads are too much is just unbuckle it. Thank God this one's. I didn't even really want to wear this black belt. I had a couple of other belts that I was thinking about wearing, but the black belt was closest to me, and like a guy, so I just, okay, well, I could walk from one room to the other and get the other belts, but the black one is right here, and black kind of works, so I'm wearing the belt, and I'm wearing semi-formal, full-on dress shoes. If I actually ever wear this in the wild, I will find a variation of a shirt like this that is lighter. And yeah, so let me take this off because you know, look at the tag on this thing, it's moving around. The great thing about the short sleeve, breathable seersucker is that I can enter a situation where, again, I look like this is a total dad outfit now, but this is extremely breathable because it's seersucker. And although I look like your dad's, this is like something your grandpa wears when you invite them over to watch Saving Private Ryan or some other World War II movie with you. This is kind of what they're dressed. It's incredibly breathable. Is it cool? Is it hip? Not at all. Is it incredibly comfortable in a go to sleep on the couch drooling way as you watch some World War II movie? Absolutely. There's a reason why certain looks work. The great thing also about this is that if I really want to make it look more hip, it's all about, first of all, undo that. And I don't have a ball cap. I do. Ball cap. So you just went from incredibly uncool. You take the same shirt with the same fit. There's one other thing I could do. Put the ball cap on, and you take the sleeves, and you just give them a quick roll. And you've gone from, you know, absolute conservative, nerdy, you dress like my dad, grandpa, to same article of clothing, totally different silhouette. Now you look halfway cool. Boom, that easy. All right, on to next video.